Here's how I destroyed the economy of an MMO by accident. Kind of. Back in 2013, I played a lot of different games. I played roguelikes, shooters, and MMOs. Eventually, I stumbled across a new game that caught my interest. It was called Realm of the Mad God. This game was right up my alley. It was all about the insane difficulty curve, similar to games like Binding of Isaac, and the social aspect of games like WoW. Realm was a tough game to get into because of this. Anytime you died in it, you would lose all of your progress. Any gear you had was gone. Any stats you had upgraded were gone. You upgraded your stats by using different potions that would give you a small bump to each of them. The only way you could get these potions was through endgame dungeons and trading. And each of them had different values within the community, with life potions being the most expensive and the rarest. Now, my plan to level my character was just like everyone else's. I was going to run different dungeons and play as carefully as possible until I could work my way up to buy each of the different potions naturally. And that worked for a little while, but I wasn't really good at the game at this time. But that all changed when Steam decided to host their yearly holiday sale. Around this time, Steam was offering different rewards for doing different things on the platform. This was stuff like buying games, writing reviews, or adding games to your wish list. A handful of these rewards were things you could get in Realm of the Mad God, like the toy knife, the unstable anomaly, and most importantly, the barely attuned magic thingy. That's the real name, by the way. These items could be bought and sold on the Steam marketplace for anything like a few cents to a few dollars. But most importantly, they were tradable with others in-game. And that's when things started to get really crazy. After activating one of these items at the time, you would log in and it would be sitting in your vault for you to pick up. You'd be able to log on and grab your new item and sell it or use it if you wanted to. At the time, the magic thingy, which I'll call MT from here on out, was one of the most valuable, going for one of the most expensive potions at the time, a life potion. You could buy one item once on your account to avoid someone just blowing money on them to get all the best gear. And while I wasn't any Mr. Moneybags, I had found a loophole at the time. One day, I had logged on to the game on another account and realized I had the MT sitting in my vault on a completely different character. And I thought this was just a weird bug and wanted to test it by making another account to see if it was something that I just messed up the one time, and to my surprise, it was right there again. And in that instant, I knew what I could do. Almost overnight, I started making account after account, all of which were getting me more and more items that were worth insane amounts. Eventually, I had traded all of them in order to get some of the best gear in the game. It wasn't much at the time, but I was able to say I had a character completely maxed out. But gear doesn't make the player, and I quickly lost all of the upgrades I had made. This game still was a roguelike after all, but that's when I decided to step it up a bit. I took to enlisting a couple of my friends at the time to help me out with this plan, while also giving them their fair share of the spoils. And with that, we started on our quest. I was the one with the item and knew how the bug worked, while the two of them were making accounts non-stop. Between the three of us, we were able to make hundreds, if not thousands of the MT over a course of a few weeks. All of us were completely covered when it came to any piece of gear, and anytime we would lose a character, we would just hop back in and make more of the item. This was our ace up our sleeve. We had everyone buying from us, and completely started to throw the market for a loop. Any piece of gear or potion someone would find, we would be trying to buy. And we continued to make more items, eventually becoming some of the biggest traders at the time. But as Tess in Ocean's 11 said,
"You of all people should know, Terry. In your hotel, there's always someone watching."
Now, I don't know the last time you decided to derail an MMO's economy was, but let me tell you, whenever you're moving around that many items that are worth that much, there are going to be people who start asking questions. We started to get players who would recognize us in-game, some of which were just happy getting items or different upgrades to their characters, while others were curious on just how we were getting these potions in such a short amount of time. At first, we tried to brush them off, saying we played a lot or just got really lucky. But eventually, people started to suspect something was up. And it wasn't just players who were noticing this. We started to catch the attention of the moderator's eye. And then it happened. One day, I went to log on to the game, and there it was. I'd been banned from the game. I knew it would happen at some point, I just didn't realize when. At the end of the day, I wasn't mad about it or upset what happened. I knew going into it that was inevitable means to an end. And it was only a matter of time for someone to catch on to what we were doing to the market. But the story doesn't just end there. 7 years later, while making this video, I realized something that I didn't expect. I'd been unbanned from the game. Now, I know the bug has been patched, especially with them changing how you get these items nowadays. And I have no interest in playing it anymore, but it was definitely crazy to see when I went to record. In the end, we stopped playing the game for a ton of different reasons. It was filled with microtransactions and different problems within the community. And looking back at it, we definitely deserved to be banned from the game. But for those few months that we were playing and able to do it, we had pretty much become the kings of Realm's economy. And in the end, when everything was said and done, we had left an impact on that game we never thought was possible. So logging in for one last time, seeing my old character and their inventory filled with different rare items was a trip down memory lane. And that's the story of how I destroyed an MMO's economy. Thanks for watching this week's video. I really hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, please consider subscribing and liking the video. It really helps me out and lets me know you want to see more stuff like this. As always, I hope you have a good one. Peace.